welcome. Thank you for clicking on my video, and make sure to subscribe and push the like button. Anyways, my name is Whitney. I'm a registered nurse, and I've been a nurse for 1 year now. And just to, have a little celebration, I'm over a year now, but I wanted to do my first giveaway. So stay tuned for the end of the video, and I will be discussing, the experiences and what I've learned in my 1 year of nursing. My first year was actually pretty rough. Starting with the training, there was a lot of things going on. I started nursing like in a blitz of COVID land, so it was really hard. My floor was originally like a transplant IMCU floor, specifically kidneys, and it went from PUI, which just means like we're testing COVID, like we don't know if the patient is COVID positive or not, to actually being a COVID floor, which was absolutely crazy. To going back to a clean unit, to going back to PUI, it was just literally up and down. It was absolutely crazy. But right now, our numbers are down, thank goodness. We're back as a transplant team, and it's been absolutely amazing from that. So starting off with orientation, it was training. There was a lot going on. There was like a lot of transitioning to like video, and a lot of our things were done online, and the hospital had to literally transition to like everything done on paper, face to face, to like everything being virtual. That kind of took them a while to kind of figure out, and that kind of delayed our process and kind of made it harder for the group of team that I was in, but we still managed. There was a lot of videos that we had to do, a lot of assignments that we had to do, a lot of homework that we had to do, like online, which is fine, but that came with the transitioning to the new nurse to like, a nurse. So as a new grad, it was kind of rough from like nursing school to like, kind of being the background, as in like you didn't have to do much. You're just like, okay, let me help you. You're the nurse, you're making all the decisions. I'm just, the student, and I'm, helping out. But now you're just like I had many preceptors. It was kind of like up and down. A lot of people were leaving. A lot of people were stressed out, and that stress you can turn into a little bit of bullying. But it was very stressful for many of the preceptors, and you learn different. The positive of that is that you learn different ways of things. It definitely gets all your resources from all those people, even if they're being, mean. You're just like, okay, let me just learn what I have to learn, just when I'm on my own, that I'm able to do what I can. So what I've learned during training, I'm just like, okay, let me just learn everything I can. During COVID land, it was more like, it was very harsh because you saw a lot of like death that was going on, and it was like very traumatic for a new nurse to kind of like deal with that. And also, many of the doctors didn't know what to do at the time because it was like it was a fresh new disease. Nobody knew what to do. Everybody was going crazy. A lot of people were dying. But once they kind of figured out, they did more research, they kind of figured out what to do, it became better. That like you don't spend much time in the room. It wasn't nursing, so it's like you don't talk to your patients. Patients were like all by themselves, isolated. It was very rough because like you can go in the rooms like a couple times. It was like you go in the patient's room 4 times like a day sometimes. You especially if they're independent, you're just like, okay, like this is your call, like I will call you. I won't even be in the room because you like literally had like a 15-30 minutes just to decrease the exposure of the disease, the infection. So you're just like, okay, you have to do vital signs, you have to do acu checks, you have to do, make sure the patient's okay, make sure they have everything, pain meds, everything in that room. And you had to do like super fast just to get out of the room. And you had to wear like a lot of gowns. Sometimes you had to reuse them, you had to reuse your mask. And they were sanitizing the mask, which, I don't know, that was kind of weird. Like, you take your mask, you send it to sanitation, and they give it back to you, and you're like, what's in this? But reusing the PPEs was probably the worst things ever, but we managed. It was kind of hard. It was very rough. But after COVID, I think the fear of COVID kind of made it worse. My manager was going crazy. We had like people coming in teaching us how to like infection control. It was very strict. It was like glove on, glove off. You had to wear 2 gloves. Like it was ridiculous. But we survived. Right now, our unit is a clean unit, which was great. So I think as a new grad, it's like getting the routine. So starting off, like if you're figuring out your schedule is like the best thing. Like if you can figure out if you work 3 days a week, what works for you. If you want to work like that Monday and then get like a couple of days off and then work the end of the week. Mine is like I like to work 3 days in a row and get my 4 days off because like I get my schedule on, I get my routine. I'm just like I know what my days are. It's consistent. It's like every week I know what's gonna be going on, so I can like plan my if I want to go on vacation, I want to go out of town, if I want to like see my friends, see my family. They all know my schedule, so it's like and it's persistent, so it doesn't like affect me, and it works for me. So once you have your schedule, it's really good to kind of have like like your outfits ready. I know the thing is like if you look good, you feel good, you get that confidence. So try to get some like pretty good scrubs. I know as a new grad you're poor. You have to pay like student loans. Luckily I didn't have any of those, but like you have to pay like your debts. You have like you made in nursing school, everything back. So it's like you try to stay on your feet, but like try to get like a really nice pair of scrubs and nice pair of shoes that's comfortable, and you're just like you're comfortable in your outfit. You look good, you feel good, so you're like, all right, I'm ready. Nobody can mess with me. So I got a couple of really nice scrubs, and I put them on one side of the closet. So I'm like, all right, in the morning I can just like pull it out, and I know what I'm gonna wear. So like my outfit, I look good, I feel good. I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then like knowing what you're gonna eat throughout the day as well. If you are gonna eat breakfast or not gonna eat breakfast, when are you gonna eat breakfast? When are you gonna eat? If you have like a time specifically, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this at this time, even if the shift is crazy. You're like, I'm gonna give myself a window to eat, because you gotta take care of yourself too if you're taking care of people. So you look good, you're doing good, you're eating. Make sure you drink a lot of water throughout the shift. Even if you have to do like little snacks, and even if it's a crazy shift, you don't have time, like try to have like snacks available. Try to have like something light. Me, I like to have like early in the morning before I go to my shift, I'll either fast or I'll have like a juice, a blended juice that I make like with fruits and vegetables, like a V8, my own homemade V8, and I'll drink that in the morning. That holds me for like a couple hours, and then I'll have like my lunch. I like to have like a very light lunch because like if I have something super heavy, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I like to have like my salad and my protein and stuff like that. So now you have like and of course my big bottle of water. You have your water, you have your nutrients, you look good. So you're like, okay, now I have the energy, now I can think. So you're just like, now you have to have like the routine. So now you're driving to work, right? So you have your food and stuff ready, you have your outfit. So in the morning, depending how far the job is, try to think of like something positive. I like to have like my morning motivation tapes, like, okay, you can do this, you're gonna do great, this is just another day, everything's gonna go great. Even if it doesn't, just starting off with that positive mindset. And during my experience, I had like a lot of people of power that were, they forgot what it's like to be a new nurse. They've been nurses for years, so they're just like, why don't you get this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? And it's more like, okay, I don't know. I don't know why I can't do this. Like, I know you have 15, 20 years of experience, but, I'm new and I didn't learn this in nursing school particularly, and I'm trying to learn it from you if you don't mind. So even if there are negative and there are like bullies out there, always keep that positive mindset. And as a new grad, during your training, this is your time. Like, even if they're mean, they're just like, there's other nurses out there. Everybody can teach you. So even if you're like with one nurse and you're taking care of your patients, always go around like, hey, if you have any IVs, come on, let me try. If you have any like cool things, like if you have a peg, show me how to do it. Learn your resources. Honestly, if you're on the floor, learn about the secretary, like their position, know where everything is, know in case of an emergency where the crash card is, what's on the crash card. Like if you know your know your environment, essentially. Like, if you can be the one that can save somebody's life. You can be the one that can find, like, the tubing sage and the tubings. You can find the suction. You can find the epi. You can find you can grab something to help. So always know where everything is in case of a fire. Know where an emergency, which is also great for Draco when they come in the hospital and they ask you 1,000 questions. But yeah. Know your resources. Know the phone numbers. Know, even if you don't know them by heart, like, write them down. Like, have a little notebook where you put all the emergency contact, all the numbers. Eventually you start, like, memorizing them, like, for where you need for translators, where you need for security. Security is very important for Baker Acts and, some of the psych patients that go crazy. And know your charge nurse number, manager, your other floors. So, like, I made, like, a little paper where I have every single phone numbers for if I need it. So, which was absolutely helpful, because now I can just, like, flip it and I'd be like, okay, I need to call this person, and I know where everything is. I know where the cafeteria is. I know where this. Just know your surroundings for everything that could possibly go wrong, because it might go wrong one day. Know about the family members. Know who to call. Kind of, yeah. Once you know your surrounding, you should be okay. But correct. So after that is your organization. You come in, know what you need. Me, I always have, like, all my pens and my scissors and everything in, like, one pocket. So when I need it, I'm just like, I'll just pull it out. I just know everything is there. I don't need it. I have a marker that I write on my whiteboard. I have my pen, my pencil, everything I need, one pocket. Scissors come in handy. You'll need it. And then I have my clipboard. I made a specific nursing note that goes by system, which I can do another video on, that I know where everything is on the paper, and I have one paper for all my patients. I know it's very tiny, but I like that's me. I just like where everything is in one page. I can just look at it. So it has all my patients' information by system, and I can have, like, a whole overview. And after I take report, I know what to ask during report, and I know what I'm looking for and what I would need for that patient in general. And when I go in there, I can ask them specifics that I'm concerned about, or I was a little confused about, if they're alert and oriented. But yeah, so now you have, like, you're organized, your resources, you are ready for your day. And that's, like, probably the best advice I can give you is, like, try to stay organized, learn the management, have your way, have your system, because, like, honestly, the patients are relying on you, and eventually the doctors are like, okay, this nurse is good, she knows what she's talking about, I need her. So you don't look like the train wreck. So you're just like, all right, this is what the patient needs. Sometimes you have to tell the doctor what the patient needs. You're like, they need this, they need that, they need that. What are you gonna do? And they're like, oh, just okay, do it. And you're like, okay, thanks. So, as a giveaway, for my over a year anniversary, I feel bad for not posting for so long, but I was busy, y'all. I also was in school, officially getting my bachelor's as well, so it's gonna be so exciting. So I'm getting my bachelor's. I got my 1 year, so things are starting. But after that rough year in nursing with COVID, I think it's time to celebrate a little bit. Just like, hey, you did something and you're helping others. So I want to do a $100 Amazon or just a regular gift card to whoever subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and also I'm going to post a picture. You guys can comment and tag your friends in it. And then I'll pick it in my next video, which is going to be about interviews. So stay tuned for that. But please make sure to subscribe to my channel, press the like button, and click the bell to get like more notifications whenever I post. Sounds good. Thank you so much.